Hey there guys, this is Don from Prana-Tech. Today's video I'm going to be doing a review of the new Firstess MP200 multi-process welder from YesWelder. This is a new product they've come out with. They sent me this for review, and so I'm pretty excited to review this because this is the first what I would consider full use multi-process welder on the market. It's not only a TIG welder, both types of MIG and stick welding, but it's also a plasma cutter integrated into the same unit. So in this video I'm going to go through all the different processes that this can do, show you how it works, and show you some of the features of it, and give you my honest review of it. Alright, let's get to it. Alright, so one of the things you'll notice right off is that YesWelder went with a different color. This is a new package and color scheme for their welders. I really like this new color, the red. I think it's a good move. I think it's, because this is kind of a new beginning for them, going to a full multi-process welder with plasma cutter all integrated. I thought it was a great idea to go with a new look. So one of the things you'll notice is that this is a little bit bigger than their regular MIG or TIG. They obviously had to make the case a little bit bigger to incorporate also a plasma cutter into the regular welder, but it's only slightly different. I would say I measured it and it's about an inch and a quarter taller in the case. But one of the things I did notice is that the case is made out of a little bit heavier duty metal. So I did like that. The door's got a much more positive, heavy duty feel to it. The plastic surrounds on the ends are thicker and heavier duty. So I really like that about this welder. It's only cosmetic, but it's one of those things that gives you a feeling of quality and heavier duty. So I really like this new look, and I like the heavy-duty new case that they went with. And now let's go through, I'll show you the new user interface on the front of it. Pretty impressive. Alright, if we look here at the user interface, we can see that it comes with a shield, a dust shield, to keep any splatter or anything off of your digital display, which this one comes with a 4.3-inch digital display, which is quite an advancement for the YesWelder line. This is the first full digital that I know of that they've come out with, or at least the first one I've seen. So this one having a full digital display is quite an advancement, I think. I really like it. So let's turn it on and I'll show you the layout of how simple it is to use. You get a graphic that pops up for YesWelder, and then it goes to the last screen that you used, whatever process you were using. So I was using MIG, so it goes to the MIG interface. It's very easy. You have a home button. When you go to the home button, you select which process with this button. And you can go from plasma to lift TIG to flux core to gas MIG to stick welding. And it also has settings so that you can set whether you want your readout to be an inch or metric. I'm using inch, so go back to home. Here we are at the MIG. So here, if you press the button once, it goes to the top and you can select what gas you're doing, and you can scroll down through the different options. So you have 100% argon, 80-20, 75-25, and 100% CO2. Over here we go to steel size of the wire. Click on that and you can choose between steel and stainless. We're using steel, so it gives you the option of 30 thousandths or 35 thousandths. I'm using 35, so I click on that. 2T is whether you want turn on, let go, turn off. I'm using it on 2T. The next is your thickness of steel. You can go through your basic 18 gauge, 16 gauge, all the way up to 1/2 inch. It also has a burn back setting. You can set how many seconds of burn back you want, up to 10 seconds. And it also has 10 memory settings that you can, if you have your more common setups that you want to use, once you get them dialed in, what gas you're using, what wire, you go in here, go into memory, turn it to which one you want. If you click it again, it'll set it to your number 3 settings, which I just selected. If you click it again and just don't do anything, it'll save what your settings are. So you can make changes to amperage, you can make changes to just voltage, and so you can change your individual settings depending on the thickness if you're doing an in-between thickness of steel. So you have individual adjustability for settings, and then you can save those if there's a specific thickness of steel that you're doing. We have lift TIG. You pull this up, you can adjust your amperage. Plasma cutting, you go there, you can adjust your amps that you want for the cut. Up at the top we can do your seconds of pre-flow and your seconds of post-flow. Looks like max is 10 seconds on either side. You also have the ability to do 2T or 4T, just like with the MIG. And you also have 10 memory settings, so you can preset for whatever thicknesses you want to do. And we set it to MMA or stick welding. And up at the top you can select either what type of rod you're using, either 60 series rod or 70 series rod. Once you select that, you can select the diameter of the rod, whether it be 1/8 inch, 3/32 or 5/32. You also have 10 memory settings here as well. So as you can see, it's a very simple interface to use for setting up your welder. As you can see, it's very simple. I really like it. It's a very quick and easy, very intuitive, and I think it's a great improvement. All right, on this side you can see here's the side that you load your MIG wire in, and I've already loaded my 35,000 solid wire in. It has the same drive assembly as the 205 DS and the 250 MIG Pro. It's all metal gear drive. It's very durable. I've had my 205 for over a year now, and I've never had a problem with it, and I think it's a very durable drive unit. In here you'll see that you have 2 connections, positive and negative. These are here, so if you're going to run flux core, you do have to swap these 2. Otherwise, everything else will be done on the front of the welder with your connections for your plasma, your TIG, or stick welder. That's about all there is in here to talk about. It's a very similar setup to the 205 DS. It's very simple to feed your wire. It's wide open, you can get to it, and it's easy to set up. Alright, on the back, I've already hooked up the plasma cutting regulator. So I just threaded in a quick connect fitting for my air supply, and it does come with hose clamps, so you can hook it up to your cut gas, is what they have it listed on the back here. You also have a fitting for your MIG gas right here, and it does come with a hose for hooking up. I've got it disconnected just so you can see, but as I get my hose hooked up, and I'll do some MIG welding and show you how it works. Okay, so I've got the MIG set up, and I'm going to do some 1/8 inch cold rolled. One of the things that I really like about YesWelder's Mig welders is how smooth they weld and how splatter free they are. Something about the inverter and the way they wire it, I don't know. What I know is that when I weld with their Mig welders, I get really clean, smooth, beautiful welds. And I'll show you real quick. I'll take the camera so you can see that I didn't change anything. It's from this welder. Alright, there you go. Sorry that took so long. But as you can see how smooth and clean their welds are. There's not a bunch of splatter on either side. There's not a bunch of cleanup I have to do. It's just nice, clean, cold rolled steel. And you can see the quality of the weld itself. It's pretty nice. Alright, so I've set up the plasma cutter and I'm going to cut off some 1/8" steel. Alright, so that cut really nice, and so I've got the stick welder set up, and I'm going to run a bead with stick welder. I'm welding some 1/8" steel with some 70-18 rod, that's 5/32 diameter. Alright, so now I've got the TIG set up. I've got some 1/8" I'm going to weld together with some rods. One of the things I'd like to mention is that it's been a long time since I've used a TIG that was a lift TIG, and I was surprised how easy it was. I had one about 25 years ago that I set up myself, but this one is very simple. Basically, all you have to do is turn on the gas when you're ready and touch the tungsten to the steel, lift off, and the arc starts, and you're welding. So I'm pretty happy with how this came out. Alright guys, so after using it in all the different functions that it can do, stick welding, TIG welding, plasma cutting, and MIG, I've run it through all of its processes that it can do, and for the home shop guy in his garage or small production shop where you're not welding every day for a business, but you need a welder that can do everything, just because your budget is at a certain level and you need to make the most of it. This is an amazing welder. The fact that you don't have to buy a separate plasma cutter is a game changer in this industry. I have to say, the ability to take this out in the yard and work on a gate or on the farm or on the road if you're doing automotive stuff, the ability is, if you have 110 volts, you can still use the plasma cutter. And that's one of the problems I have in my shop, is that I have a 220 volt plasma cutter, but I can't take it out in the yard. If my steel gate breaks and I need to cut a hinge off or whatever with a plasma cutter, I can't do it. I have to either use a saw or something else. And having the ability to do all of those functions in one package is an amazing accomplishment for YesWelder. I'm pretty impressed. I have to say that it's a lightweight package. It is bigger than the regular YesWelder TIGs and MIGs that I have, but it doesn't weigh much more. It may weigh 3 or 4 pounds more when it's all said and done. It feels about the same when I pick up my MIG Pro or the 205DS, but the fact that they kept it in such a compact size and you have a plasma cutter is pretty impressive. I really like this welder. I think it's a great product, and it's first in the marketplace from what I can see. I haven't seen anything else out there that combines MIG, TIG, stick, and plasma cutter all in one unit. So I think this is an amazing value, and I think I saw on one of the emails that they're looking at doing the early bird program with this. If you do it early, they're going to do it for under $500, which that kind of blows my mind, because with all that this welder can do for under $500 is amazing. I thought for sure this would be, you know, a $1,200 unit. So when that comes out on the marketplace, I think it's going to take the DIY welder and the home shop welder and the small production shop by storm, because I think it's an amazing value. All the other YesWelders that I have always worked flawless. I've never had a problem, and I weld almost every day. So I'm always building stuff, and so the quality I know is there, because I have 5 friends who bought, you know, YesWelders just in my close friends. And if there was a quality issue, I would know about it. My friends are not going to pull any punches. They're going to tell me. So I've been very pleased with the quality of YesWelder, and I think one of the reasons a lot of people go, well, this is an inexpensive welder. Well, you know what? YesWelder does a different program where they don't have a middleman. They cut out and they sell direct to the customer, so they can offer a much higher quality welder for a much more reasonable price than what some of the bigger names can do. And so I've been very impressed with this company. Their customer service and their quality control appears to be amazing. I haven't had hardly any complaints from people come through. So I think they're just about to take this industry by storm, and I think if you get one of these early, you'd be very lucky, because I think this is going to change the small DIY market incredibly. So anyway, hope you like this review, and if I'll put a link in the description section and in the comments. I'll pin it up at the top of where you can go to get in on this welder from the beginning. And I appreciate you guys watching. If you like my videos, hit subscribe and share them with people that you think would benefit from this. I thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Thanks.